I'm at work right now, as you can clearly see. What we have here is a Winbook XP. Winbook used to be one of the many low-end laptop makers from like the early to mid to late 1990s. Actually, they were around for quite a while. And this is a pretty cool machine, actually. It has a track point. It features, it looks like a TFT LCD display. It's not a passive matrix, I can figure that much out. Okay, wow, this room is really hot and stuffy. And this is typical of mid-1990s laptops. You have an LCD panel here, which displays all the status lights for like caps lock, num lock, hard drive activity, battery life, etc. It has a mechanical on-off power switch, a trackball. Now, by the mid-90s, these were starting to fade away in favor of trackpads. This is the PCMCIA slot. It's attached to excuse me. It's attached to this door here. And there's two Type 2 slots, one Type 3, built-in speaker, and a lot of mold. If you look at this thing, this laptop has sat in a damp location for a very long time. Here's the product logo. I believe this particular machine was made in 1997. It features an Intel 486DX4. This is a very fast processor for its time. This is comparable to a Pentium 4. Sorry, a Pentium, probably around like a Pentium 75. This is, by the way, a 75 megahertz processor. It has a proprietary memory slot typical of that time period. I have all the doors for it. I just took them off. Trying to get it open. I'll show you what it does when I turn it on. It's actually kind of uneventful, but here we go. We'll plug it in. This laptop is absolutely trashed. I just grabbed it because I wanted to make a video on it. And we should see a power indicator here any second now. Or no, that's only if the battery's installed. All right. Let's see here. See what happens when I hit the power button. Pretty much all we get out of it. If I turn it on and off a few times, the hard drive should kick over. Yeah, it's got issues. The hard drive is frozen. Yeah. I did get it going though. Hold on. Put the battery back in. Maybe I'll get it to do something. But I remember hearing about these laptops. Oh, there it goes. I just heard the floppy drive kick in. Hard drive is going. I just hit it just right. We still have nothing on the screen. Caps lock responds. So the screen's probably trashed. Okay, that was a lucky shot there. So it actually, I might be able to get it to run again. Let's try the reset button. Now that we got it to do something, we'll hit the reset button underneath. Maybe we'll get it to boot up. It's right here. The hard drive kicked out. Interesting. Oh, it's still going. Yeah, let's take this thing apart. I bet you this thing is loaded with corrosion. The processor is heating up, though. I can feel it. It's got some heat to it, so it must be doing something. Alright, let me shut this off. Alright, let's look inside the belly of the beast. Now, this is the other side of the processor socket. It's actually through-hole soldered, if you can believe that. It's a desktop processor, by the way. Got a little bit of corrosion in here. The motherboard doesn't look terribly bad. I'm surprised, actually. The keyboard was manufactured by Lexmark in the 24th of October of 1994. So now we have a manufacturing time frame. It is corroded. You know, I just got finished putting a motherboard in my own laptop. Yeah, this is the one I use to upload and edit all my videos, and the motherboard started having GPU problems. And that thing is built like a freaking Swiss watch in comparison to this. One of the benefits of having these is that I can buy parts for my own laptop from Apple and not have to pay insane amounts of money to have somebody put them in. So I got my motherboard for about $500, and no, I can't do that for anybody else, so please don't ask. But anyway, yeah, so that really sucked, but you know, life's life. $505 is what it cost me to fix the damn thing. But, you know, considering I paid $1,500 for it, I guess it's not too bad. A year and a half ago. Actually, that's terrible. But, you know, these things happen. Things break, new and old. It just happens, and you just deal with it. If I didn't know how to fix it myself, it would have cost me almost $700 to $900 to repair. Can you imagine spending that kind of money? Well, anyway, I took the hard drive out of it. This is as thick as they come for this particular size. That is a full height 2.5-inch drive. That's like the most you're going to get out of this size range. Doesn't have a manufacturing date. It is a Toshiba drive, 500 megs, and we're going to take this drive and put it in that desktop PC over there and see what's on it. See if there's anything interesting. Like, you know, recovery media, or like a confession note from a criminal or something who tried to destroy his laptop by flooding it 20 or 15 years ago. Oh wow. Ooh. Okay. Massive corrosion over here. And you can see it starts up, you know, some of it had dripped here. I bet you anything that our friend the batteries here, this little backup clock battery, has been leaking. So let's crack the rest of this open, huh? And this, my friends, is why you don't drink liquids of any kind when working on your laptop. Okay, we don't know that's what happened, honestly. I just don't know that information, but here's a replaceable power supply board. I don't see any leaky capacitors or anything like that, so that's not really the issue, but something, this is where that screw came from, but something had spilled onto the logic board or leaked onto it, causing corrosion of biblical proportions. I mean, this laptop, let's face it, will never work again, and even if it did, you know, oh well, it's gone, so. There are 100 better ones out there in better condition. This is the modem, which is composed of 2 boards all by itself. That's amazing. Let's pop that open. Man. I am filming this with an iPod, so I apologize for that. There's the modem. Now that, by the way, would have been an option on most laptops at the time period. We've got floppy drive. This is a Citizen floppy drive, which was typical for most laptops. And this is all consistent with a laptop that had been stored in a very humid, moist setting. There's corrosion on the motherboard here. Now let's liberate the motherboard from the rest of the chassis. Look on the other side here. It has a genuine Western Digital IDE bus controller. I don't see a lot of damage here that would cause it to not boot, but again, we don't really know the extent of it, to be honest. And the processor is, in fact, it might actually be socketed. If it is, I'm going to take it out and put it in my display case. So yeah, there you go. There's a motherboard. Still don't know the OEM. I don't believe it to be a Lexmark machine because they had better quality than this. This is actually a very poorly built laptop, I'll be honest. I've seen worse, but I've seen much better. Let's see if this is socketed. Yeah, it is socketed. So what we do is we just gently... I did at one time have a chip puller. I had a couple of them, but we're not reusing this chip anytime soon. So we're just going to pull it out. So this is the kind of laptop that you could have literally upgraded the processor in. They did this at the factory because a lot of laptops back then were ordered, they were custom ordered. So if a customer bought a particular model but wanted a faster processor, they would actually stick in, for instance, a DX4100, or this might have been the upgraded one, so it could have had a DX2 in it or something. I don't know what socket this is, but now there are a couple of dip switches. There's one here and there's a switch here. Oh, here we go. Clock multiplier adjustment. I believe that's what this is. 33 megahertz, 25 megahertz, 20 megahertz. And it is currently set to the middle position, so 25 megahertz. I'm 99% sure that's what that means. So if I did 25 times 4, that's, of course, we know that to be 100. I believe how it works is the DX4 is clock quadrupled, so it quadruples the clock speed or something like that. I don't remember. I used to know so much, you know. I don't know anything anymore. Modern technology has dumbed me down to the point of uselessness. But there we are. The DX4 processor. Which would mean, well, it's a 75, so the DX4 I think maxed out at 100 megahertz, and that's when low-end Pentium started taking over the low-end market. But let's take this hard drive out and see what's on it, if anything. This is the best thing I ever built. This is a rack mount PC. Actually, it was a rack mount server. It originally contained a dual processor Pentium Pro. And, there we go. That down. So anyway, it had a dual processor Pentium Pro board in it. And I yanked it out to install a modern Pentium 4 board. I don't remember what I think it has a 3 gigahertz Pentium 4. And because this rack mount case predates the Pentium 4 chip, it had a power supply that was rigged. It actually has a purpose-built ATX power supply that doesn't have the 4-pin connector. And I didn't have any 4-pin adapters. No. I think there was something else that was missing too. In either case, I had to kind of reverse engineer a standard ATX power supply that had enough horsepower to run my motherboard. And which meant having to relocate the power connector from the front to the back. It was one of my kludgiest installs ever. After I built this one, I wanted to see if this case would do the job. I rebuilt all of our backup servers in these cases. What I did to the other machines is I had I had just used the 4-pin adapters, little 4-pin header adapters, and let's see if this hard drive even detected, let alone did anything here. So let's see what we got. I think I see it. Local disk E. Yeah, there it is. And what's on it, you say? I ask. A lot of stuff. We've got drivers, Phoenix, BIOS, Western Digital, or something to that effect. It has the full DOS. Ooh, Sierra Hoyle. That must be the card game pack. We've got Monopoly. No, it has to be installed first. Neat. Annuity. Okay, must be some financial program. 3D Home Architect. Of course, this will have to be installed too. Close. Okay, yeah, alright, thank you. Alright, back. It had Excel. Was he dumb enough to leave his documents on it? Comet, which is a modem driver. We have a DeskJet driver here. DOS fax program. That's actually what, I believe that's what Comet is. PowerPoint. Windows. What version of Windows? I'm going to say this would have had 3.1. So let's determine that. Well, let's just look at the backgrounds here and see what we have for backgrounds. Yeah, these are Windows 3.1 backgrounds. There's one background that I cannot seem to find. Still trying to launch 3D Home. And that is the chess background that's actually from Windows 3.0. But I can never find that one. But that's definitely Windows 3.1 if I ever saw it. And you know what? Just for good time's sake, I'm going to copy this onto my PC here, and I'm going to use this as my Windows background. Hell, I should use that on my Mac just for the fun of it, you know. So here we go. There's my background. Actually, I should. I'll deal with that later. All right. What else is on here? Oh dear God. Well, that's just interesting. Swimsuit models from 1994. Yeah. Okay. You never know what you might find on these. All right. Let's go back to list. Start later, please. Wildcard. Microsoft Word for Windows. I'm going to cut out that last section, but just to tell you, I found some, well, let's just say some pictures that I can't show you on YouTube. Any like document folders or anything, unless they're hidden. And let's see in WinWord. I believe back then the documents would have been saved within the Word document. Win 2.0 files. Okay, we can't open these. So what we're going to do is change these to text files or RTF. No, I won't do it. What if I call it a text file? There we go. So this is somebody's resume. Yeah, very interesting. We know who the owner was now. So anyway, yeah, that's creepy. Anyway, well, have a good time, guys, and I didn't know you could do this. I've never done this before, but if you have a screensaver file from an older version of Windows, if you just open it up, it'll run. Very poorly, but it'll run. Look at that. Good times. See if Stars runs any better. Oh, the Stars one runs okay. Flying Windows, not so much. What about this is the old Mystify screensaver. Let's see if that runs. Yeah, that runs okay. Pretty cool. What I'm doing is I'm copying off all the old Windows 3.1 background files, and I'm going to put them in a folder for later retrieval. Some of them are pretty cool. Very early 90s, like this Zigzag one. Definitely early 90s. I gotta say that much. So there you go. The contents of... It turns out the guy was like some kind of a financial manager who just happens to leave all of his customers' data on an old hard drive, thinking no one will ever come back for it. And you know what, guy, you can't do that. Ugh, God. Here at Apple, we believe in high performance and low cost. That's why we're shipping our new MacBook Pro with the Intel DX4 processor. Now you can have your Apple and eat it too.
Here at Apple, we believe in high performance and low price. That's why we're now shipping the MacBook Pro with an Intel DX4 processor. Now you can look like a hipster without paying the high price. Apple, where innovation counts. Apparently we don't like putting high light sensitive cameras in our iPods. I should probably edit that out.